A big story today, though, on the economic front as we turn our attention to events prior to question time. The inflation figure out, and it comes ahead of the economic statement by the Treasurer tomorrow.
Yeah, and I wonder if that took the wind out of the sails of the government as well in question time. They thought, will it look a bit churlish to get stuck into the opposition when you've got this significant and bad economic news for a lot of Australians? Nevertheless, I would expect a stronger performance from the government tomorrow. But let's have a look at this, because this actually affects people, not like this theatre of Parliament. Annual inflation hit 6.1% in Australia today, and the Treasurer confirmed wages won't be going up by that much, but gave us a reassurance that prices will stop rising.
It will take time for us to get on top of these issues as I've described them, but we will get on top of them. Inflation will get worse before it gets better, but it will get better. Some of these other challenges, with the right policies and the right mindset and the right approach, and with some degree of patience, will turn around for us as well. The reality is that this quarterly outcome doesn't yet include the electricity price spike that came in July. So these numbers are obviously for the June quarter, and there is price pressure to follow.
So despite the numbers, the Treasurer again ruled out extending the petrol excise cut set to come off in September. And that's despite the fact the numbers show petrol prices are a significant contributor to inflation. He did say, however, he thinks about this decision every day.
The government has all but ruled out extending the fuel excise cut. Is today the day you actually take that off the table, or is there a glimmer of hope that there may be an extension to come?
Look, I said during the election campaign, before the election campaign, after the election campaign, that Australians shouldn't expect us to be able to afford to extend that petrol price relief. People should expect it to end in September, and I know that will be really difficult for people. And I think about it, there hasn't been a day I haven't thought about it in one way or another.
Jim Chalmers, who I think, again, judging on the performance today, is very good in the media but needs to work a bit on his parliamentary performance. He said Australians were filthy that petrol companies did not pass on global price cuts.
Australian motorists, for good reason, get absolutely filthy about when the global price goes up, the price rise gets passed on immediately, and when the global wholesale price comes down, it seems to take longer. And Australians are filthy about that, and they should be. And so service station owners, the companies, shouldn't treat Australian motorists as mugs.
The Treasurer also warned of what he said was a perilous global economic situation.
The global economy is treading a precarious and perilous path. And you can see that in the quite substantial downgrades that the IMF has released overnight.
Well, a lot of talk of global factors when it came to this inflation number today. But during the election campaign, the Treasurer was laying all the blame for inflation at the feet of the then federal government. I do wonder, has he created a rod for his own back because of this?
On every shelf, in every shop, in every suburb is a reminder of Scott Morrison's cost of living crisis and his failures on the economy. Now, we've heard more excuses from him and from the Treasurer. This government has an excuse for everything and a plan for nothing. They want to talk about international comparisons. Australians couldn't give a stuff what inflation is in the United States.
Not all our fault now, that's for sure. Well, Kieran, as we know, the Treasurer will deliver his economic statement, much awaited, to the House of Representatives, expecting that just after midday tomorrow.